Some breaking news here for the Blue Jays, as we heard a couple days ago that they had signed Spencer Turnbull and Jose Urena to one-year deals, major league deals at that, and we were wondering what the corresponding moves were going to be. Today we got our answer. As Max Scherzer has moved to the 60-day IL, Eric Swanson is transferred to the 60-day IL, and Josh Walker is optioned to AAA. So, for those of you that don't know, I've seen a lot of comments online about the 60-day IL being a concern. This will be dated back to their original injury date. This is not another 60 days added on the injured list. So Max Scherzer will still be eligible to come back. I believe it's the 29th of this month. And I think for Eric Swanson, it's the 26th of this month. So nothing really changes there with their timeline. They're just moved to the 60-day IL because that opens up the 40-man spot. Not as concerning as it looks when you read 60 days. Josh Walker getting optioned. I'm assuming that is to make room for Jose Urena on the current roster on the 26-man, so we should see him right away. He's, for those of you that don't know, I'll get into Urena first because he's the guy we're going to see first, so I'll drop this down and bring this guy up. This is Jose Urena's stats over the last few years. Baseball Savant is down right now, so I can't actually access his Savant page, but he was a guy that came up as a higher-end prospect back in the day. He had some nice seasons with the Miami Marlins, and then unfortunately, he's just kind of been tossed around the league the last, since basically 2020 or so. He's been just kind of passed around. Last year, he had a strong showing with Texas, pitching to the 3.8 ERA. This year, he only had the one brief showing with the Mets, and unfortunately, he got blown up in that outing, leading to his DFA in the first place. So the Blue Jays, they're just wondering if he can be better than an Eric Lauer or an Easton Lucas or anybody like that, just to provide some depth, to provide a long man role or some spot starts. Low risk, semi-high reward potential there if he can pitch to, like I say, how he did last year with Texas, to the 3.8 ERA. That's a very solid innings eater for this team that can really use one at the moment. So yeah, a bit of a flyer on him. The move I'm more excited about is actually the Spencer Turnbull one, because Turnbull has some real upside. He was phenomenal last year for the Phillies, pitched to a 2.65 ERA. His FIP was a little bit inflated from that, but he's a guy that has a track record of being a very effective starting pitcher. You'll look back to even 2019 when he was a 3-17 pitcher on that absolutely terrible Detroit Tigers team. He was still a 2.5 WAR pitcher with a FIP around 4, and then the couple years after that, he was 3.5 and then 2.95 FIPs. And even last year, it was a 3.85 FIP, which isn't fantastic, but the 2.65 ERA will play. He's another guy that can give you length out of the bullpen or some starts. I don't think he'll be a workhorse at this point in his career, but, after the injury-plagued 2022 where he missed the whole season, 2023 was a rough year for him coming back, and then 2024 looked promising, so we're hoping that he can continue to build on that in 2025. He was optioned down to the FCL, so he'll just be getting stretched out in Florida, basically, is what that means for Toronto. I don't know how they'll move him along, give him a couple starts down in the nice warm weather, stretch him out a bit, and then maybe we see him in Buffalo for a start or two, and then up with the big league squad. So yeah, it looks like Urena will be up right away, get into a couple of games right shortly, and then Turnbull is likely a couple of weeks to, maybe a month or so away, but we'll wait to hear more information on just how stretched out he is. When a guy hasn't signed anywhere, it's hard to say where he'll be at. I would assume he'd been throwing fairly lengthy bullpens and showcasing for some teams, and teams that are looking to sign him would like to know, are you at 50 pitches right now, or like, how's your arm feeling? So I would assume that they got a good response from him there, that he's at least relatively close to contributing to a team that greatly needs pitching depth. So all in all, really exciting stuff on the Turnbull front. The Urena move is just a flyer. You're just hoping you can catch lightning in a bottle with him, get some good appearances out of him, have him patch your rotation or bullpen through until you start getting the Manoahs, the Tiedemans, whoever else you're looking at, maybe depending on how Jake Bloss's injury goes. But yeah, just a bit of a stopgap there to hopefully buy you a couple of months. And also Max Scherzer coming back at the end of the month, potentially. So just wanted to go over what the 60-day ILs meant for those guys, because like I say, I saw a lot of comments suggesting that they were out 60 days from today. That's not the case. Their timelines remain fairly unchanged. And just wanted to express my excitement for this Turnbull move especially. And then Urena, we'll see what we can get out of him. Just a depth guy, but nothing that I'm crazy excited about. But also, it's probably better than the depth we already had. So solid moves. Lots of problems still with this team that we can work on, but those are for different videos. This one we're just focusing on the pitching depth that we've acquired, and I'll leave it there, all right? So let me know what you guys think of the move. Are you concerned about the 60-day IL? Are you concerned about Scherzer, Swanson? Do you like these pickups? Let me know in the comments, all right? We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.